Welcome to Disturbingly Cheap Reviews. Hey everybody, remember that vengeful ghost film that was called The Traveler that starred Val Kilmer? How about the mediocre serial killer movie Ticking Clock that starred Cuba Gooding Jr.? Well, fun fact, those two actors joined forces for today's movie. It's a sci-fi action flick entitled Hardwired. In a corporate-ran world, Cuba Gooding Jr. is in a car accident. He seems to be doomed until a mysterious company ran by Val Kilmer volunteers their service. Of course, this is all just to implant a device in his head because something capitalism is bad. Cuba loses his memory, but escapes, and is recruited by a group of rebels to help fight off the evil Kilmer Corp. Within 5 minutes into this movie, a hobo's head explodes. That's one way to get my attention. Anyway, society is now being ran by capitalism and logos are scattered everywhere. And I truly mean everywhere. My personal favorite being the Microsoft logo spinning around in Stonehenge. The way these 2 points are introduced let me know that this movie wasn't going to take itself super seriously, and it kind of made me, for lack of a better word, appreciate it. So due to the power of coincidence, Cuba is an ex-military man with an amazing record and is given proper motivation to want Kilmer Corp to go down in flames, which leads to a decent fight scene and one particularly unique shootout in the dark. I really enjoyed this. A real pleasant surprise that has faults like any movie, but delivers an entertaining story. Kilmer was obviously having fun with all of his scenes, and Gooding Jr. brings in a solid performance as our hero. Outside of Kilmer and Gooding Jr., the movie also features Michael Ironside, who you may recognize as one of the better character actors. He does real well in his small role, as usual. And while it wasn't the most definitive ending in the world, it was still done in a way that I enjoyed it and it left me happy, because it ended in an upbeat, logical way. I give this movie a B+. I had a lot of fun watching it, and the ending didn't ruin that fun, for once. There are faults, there are blips, there are little mistakes that you will catch while watching. It's most likely not for everyone, but I really enjoyed it. And if you're bored and want to see a surprisingly good sci-fi film that indeed carries cliches, check it out. Now when it comes to spoilers, the inspiration to get Cuba on the rebellion side is to reveal that Kilmer Corp canceled his insurance, staged the accident, and killed his pregnant wife who had survived the crash. Well, that's pretty darn good reason to want revenge. Cuba was shoehorned into the experiment by a gun-smuggling soldier who Cuba had sent to prison while in the military. That man, who somehow managed to get a pretty darn good job at Kilmer Corp, is used to trap Cuba, who is brought back to Kilmer Corp and tricked into ratting out the resistance. However, through the help of computer programs, the remaining rebels help Cuba escape from the facility. Along the way, he reveals the information about the implant to others being experimented upon, and puts a bullet into Val Kilmer. Thankfully, Val Kilmer actually falls to the ground and his body stays there this time. Yes, I'm still mad about The Traveler. Anyway, so we end with Cuba researching the bigwigs of Kilmer Corp, announcing that the rebels and he will work together to stop them. The end. The ending wasn't disappointing to me. It's the kind of ending that has a success and a hint of more good to come. I'm surprised that Sci-Fi wouldn't have picked this idea up for at least one season. They're real good at letting interesting shows run a season before killing them off for another lame spin-off. That's a completely different rant, and I may or may not like Stargate. Until next time, something hobo's head explodes.